Yan, recording na tayo, no? Ang topic natin for today ay depreciation. Adjusting entries pa rin tayo. Ayan, na-discuss naman natin to last time, no? Recap lang, baka kasi nakalimutan mo na siya or hindi mo siya masyadong na-absorb. So, balikan natin. Ano ba adjusting entries? Adjusting entries are journal entries recorded at the end of an accounting period to record revenue and expenses that have not been recorded yet. Alright, sa dulo ng accounting period, doon tayo nag-a-adjust, no? Para ma-record natin yung mga revenue and expenses na hindi pa natin nare-record. Bakit natin ginagawa yon? They ensure that financial statements adhere to the matching principle. Sana tanda mo na yung matching principle, no? Na we match expenses with the revenues they help generate. And the revenue recognition principle. So we've previously discussed accruals. Sana tanda mo sila, no? Accrued revenues and accrued expenses. And deferrals. Yan naman si unearned revenues and prepaid expenses. Si unearned revenue is liability yan. Kasi nga, unearned mo. Pero na-receive mo na yung cash. O recap lang tayo. No? Na-receive mo na yung cash, pero hindi yung pa nare-render yung service. So, meron kang pananagutan doon sa kung sino man yung nagbayad sa ng cash o nung consideration na yon. So, liability ang unearned revenue and prepaid expenses. Asset naman to. Kasi, nagbayad ka na for future expenses pa. No? Hindi mo pa nagagamit yung kung ano man yung binayaran mo. For example, nagbayad ka in advance ng rent. Hindi mo pa nagko-consume yung upah doon sa space na nirentahan mo. So, meron kang prepaid rent. So, asset pa siya. Hindi mo pa siya nagko-consume. All right, now we'll look at a specific type of deferral, depreciation. Okay. So, ang depreciation pala is a type of deferral. So, bakit kaya? Tingnan natin dito. Ano ba kasi ang depreciation na yan? Depreciation is the systematic allocation of the cost of a long-term tangible asset over its useful life. Tandaan mo yung definition na to, no? Baka matanong ka. Ano ba ang depreciation? Ina-allocate mo yung cost ng long-term tangible asset over its useful life. Ano ba example ng long-term asset? For example, vehicle, no? Normally, ang mga vehicle, yung mga service vehicle, or kung ano mang vehicle yan, naglalast yan for more than 1 year. Okay. So, pag more than 1 year ba, long term yun? Yes. No? Kasi tumawid siya ng isang taon, no? Isang period. Alright. So, for example, yung service vehicle natin ay merong 5 years na useful life. Ibig sabihin lang ng useful life, magagamit mo siya for 5 years. O may gamit siya sa'yo. Useful siya sa'yo for 5 years. So, parang yan ba yung buhay ng vehicle? Yes. So, after 5 years, ina-assume natin na wala na siyang buhay or wala na siyang use sa atin. Alright. So, for example, bumili ka ng vehicle nga worth 500,000. Nagbayad ka 500,000. Pero pakikinabangan mo siya for 5 years. Yung 500,000 ba na to ay i-expense mo agad lahat? Hindi. No? I-record mo muna siya as asset, as service vehicle. Alright. Pero, alam mo na 5 years mo lang siya magagamit. So, dapat ba yung 500,000 na to ay i-expense mo pa unti-unti? Yes. Kasi, portion yan nagiging expense habang ginagamit mo yung asset. Okay? So, yun ba yung concept ng deferral? Yes. No, para siyang prepaid expense. No? Nagbayad ka ng 500,000 outright para sa isang vehicle na magagamit mo naman for 5 years. Okay? So, i-record mo muna siya as asset. Then, paglipas ng mga period, i-record mo yung expense related to that asset o yung pagkalaspag ng asset na yon na tinatawag ng depreciation. Okay? It's not about the asset losing market value. So, ibang concept to yung sa market value, no? Hindi ganyan ang depreciation. It's an accounting method for spreading out the asset's cost over the years it will be used to generate revenue. So, ito mismo yung concept ng matching, no? Since 5 years mo magagamit yung vehicle, 5 years mo siyang magagamit sa yung operations. Or 5 years mo siyang pakikinabangan and 5 years siyang magge-generate ng revenue. So, dapat ba yung expense na related dito sa asset na ni-record mo ay i-record mo din for 5 years? Yes, matching principle yan eh. Nire-record natin yung expense in the same period as the revenues they help generate. Okay? So, 5 years nga nagja-generate ng revenue, so 5 years ka rin magre-record ng expense. Okay, ito example. Think of it like paying for a car over several years instead of all at once. The car's cost is the asset's value and the yearly payments are like the depreciation expense. Alright. Ibang example naman to kasi dun sa example na binigay natin, nagbayad tayo outright ng 500,000 and yun. So ito, I think wag mo na itong isipin muna. Baka malito ka lang. So why do we depreciate assets? Ayan na nga. Bakit natin dinidepreciate? First reason is ito, matching principle. Depreciation expense is recorded in the same period that the asset helps generate revenue. Paulit-ulit na tayo dyan, no? Nire-record ng expense in the same period as the revenues they help generate. Okay, this matches the expense with the revenue it helps to generate or create, giving a truer picture of a company's profitability. Okay, recording ba tayo? Yes. Next reason why do we depreciate assets? Accurate asset valuation. So depreciation reduces the book value of an asset on the balance sheet, reflecting its remaining economic value to the company. Okay. So assets through valuation or accurate valuation. Bakit? Ano ba yung book value na sinasabi? Yun yung value kung saan na-record natin yung asset. For example, yung binili nating asset kanina na 500,000. Sa una, o sa habang bago yung asset na yan, 500,000 yung book value niya. Pero habang nalalaspag yung asset na yan, for example, nabawasan siya for 1 year ng 100,000, yung magiging book value niya na lang ay magiging 400,000. So habang nalalaspag o habang ginagamit yung asset na yan, mababawasan yung book value. Alright, so nare-reflect natin yung accurate valuation ng asset kapag nag-depreciate tayo. Okay. Next reason, ito, compliance. It is a required accounting practice under generally accepted accounting practices or GAAP. Alright. So, ayun. Yung mga basic info about depreciation. Ba't natin siya ginagawa? Ano yung concept behind depreciation? Ngayon, puntahan na natin kung paano ba mag-depreciate. Okay. So, ito, si straight line method. Ito yung most common and easiest method to calculate depreciation. Meron pa bang ibang method? Yes. Meron pang ibang method pero hindi na muna natin pag-uusapan dito, no? Yung mga double declining balance na yan. Straight line lang muna tayo. Kasi ito pinaka straightforward and the most common nga and easiest method to use. Ano bang ginagawa sa straight line method of depreciation? Ito, yung formula niya. Sulat mo na. Formula, para mahanap mo yung depreciation expense, is kuhanin mo yung cost ng asset na binili. So, example natin kanina, 500,000, yung cost niyan. Minus the salvage value. Ano ba yung salvage value? Ito yun. Sa baba. Salvage value is the estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life. Binibigay ba yan sa problem? Yes. Pwede ba yung maging 0? Yes. So, for example, yung salvage value ng 500,000 natin is 0. So, lagyan mo lang dyan, 0 sa formula. Then, divided by useful life. So, example natin kanina, useful life natin is 5 years. Alright. So, pag ginawa mo daw yung formula na yan, makukuha mo yung depreciation expense. So, magkano yung depreciation expense natin per year? 100,000. Okay. So, yun yung example natin kanina, no? 100,000. Ngayon, ito bang 100,000 na to, ito yung ina-expense natin per year? Yes. Kaya, nilagay ko dito kanina na example ng expense is 100,000 din. So, makukuha mo yung book value na 400,000. Alright, tandaan mo tong formula na to. Depreciation expense equal to cost minus salvage value over useful life. Alright. So, may isa pang example dito sa baba. Ito, basahin mo na lang yung meaning ng useful life. No? Useful life, the estimated number of years the company expects to use the asset. Basahin natin yung example. Example, a delivery truck costs 50,000. Uy, delivery truck. Has a salvage value of 10,000 and a useful life of 5 years. Computein mo nga yung depreciation expense. Sige computein mo, i-post mo yung video pag hindi mo siya kayang i-compute. Pero dapat ang makuha mo dyan is 8,000. And binigyan na nga dito yung formula. So, yung cost ng delivery truck is 50,000. Yung salvage value is 10,000. Tapos, i-divide mo lang siya sa number of years o useful life. So, 5 years. Makukuha mo dyan 8,000. Ngayon, binibigay ba sa problem yung mga given na yan? Yes. Kadalasan, binibigay yan. Iniiba lang minsan yung wording. So, pwedeng sabihin, a delivery truck was acquired for 50,000. So, yung acquisition cost na yun yung cost. Delivery truck was acquired for 50,000. For example, ganun. Then, yung salvage value, ano pa ba ang pwedeng sabihin dyan sa salvage value? Pwedeng sabihin, the delivery truck can be sold for 10,000 pesos at the end of its useful life. Salvage value pa rin ba yun? Yes. Kasi ano bang meaning ng salvage value ulit? Ito, the estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life. So, kung magkano yung tansya mong magiging value ng asset pag na-reach niya na yung useful life niya. Salvage value. Okay. Kasi, di ba, pwede namang bumili tayo. Okay, yung lola mo na may sari-sari store, for example. Kunwari, nagdi-deliver din siya o meron siyang parang grab food. No? Tapos bumili siya ng motorsiklo. Sabi ng lola mo, mag-invest ako sa motor. Bibili ako ng motor para makapag-deliver ako sa mga bumibili sa akin using grab food. Yan, motorsiklo kunwari yan. Yun. Tapos, sabi ng lola mo, tingin ko 5 years yung magiging useful life ng motor ko na to. So, yung 5 years na yun yung useful life. No? Tapos, tinanong mo yung lola mo, after 5 years, nasaan na yung motor na yan? Sabihin ng lola mo, siguro, sira-sira na yan. Sira-sira na yung motor na yan. Mabebenta ko na lang siguro yan for 5,000 after 5 years. No? Kasi syempre, maluluma yan. Mabubutas yung gulong. O kung ano man, mawawala yung upuan. O magkakasira-sira. So, sabi ng lola mo, mabebenta ko na lang siguro yan sa junk shop after 5 years ng 5,000 pesos. Ganun na lang. Or malaki pa nga yung 5,000 Siguro mga 1,000 ko na lang mabebenta yan. Yung bakal-bakal na lang. Kikiluhin na lang siya, kumbaga. So, yung presyo na to, sa end ng useful life na inassume ng lola mo, yan yung estimated salvage value. Okay? So, tinatansya lang yan, yung salvage value na yan. Okay? Sasabihin ba yan ng problem? Yes, sasabihin lang yan. The vehicle is estimated to have a salvage value of 5,000. Ganun. Or the company estimated that the delivery truck can be sold for 5,000 at the end of its useful life. Salvage value pa rin yan. Okay? Huwag kang magpapalito. Salvage value, estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life. Okay. So ngayon, alam mo na kung paano kumputin yung depreciation expense. Ito na yun eh. 8,000. Ngayon, paano mo siya i-entryhan? Adjusting entry for depreciation. Okay. So basahin natin. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. Non-cash expense. You aren't paying money out of your bank account for it. So ano yung expense na to? Ini-expense mo yung pagkalaspag o yung pagkasira ng asset. Okay, so anong tawag doon? Depreciation expense. So the entry always involves two accounts. Depreciation expense, debit, no? Then credit accumulated depreciation. Ito, nabanggit na nga natin to last time, no? Pinaparala ko lang sa'yo. Ang tawag dyan ay contra asset account. Sabi natin, ang contra asset account ay merong credit na normal balance. So, paano mo siya entryhan? Debit. Ito, depreciation expense, dep expense, credit, accumulated debt. Alright. So, sa example natin kanina, 8,000 yun, no? Alright. So, ito na siya. Depreciation expense, accumulated depreciation to record depreciation for the year on the delivery truck. So this entry records the expense on the income statement and increases the contra asset account on the balance sheet. All right. Screenshot mo to or isulat mo or i-post mo kung kailangan mo pa siyang i-absorb further. Tuloy natin dito. Tingnan natin kung ano yung impact sa balance sheet ng adjusting entry na yon. So after the adjusting entry, the asset will be presented as delivery truck at cost 50,000 less accumulated depreciation 8,000. So book value is 42,000. All right. So yung formula ng book value is yung original cost o yung acquisition cost minus accumulated depreciation. Makukuha mo yung book value. So each year, accumulated depreciation increases, reducing the book value. Okay, kasi sa susunod na taon, 8,000 ulit yung depreciation expense. So, magkakaroon ka ulit ng entry na DepEx, depreciation expense, credit, accumulated depreciation. Ayan. Question, paano kapag yung asset is inacquire ng mid-year, for example, ganun ano. Inacquire siya, sige, alanganin na buwan. Inacquire yung asset na October, for example. So, gawa natin ng problem, For example, yung asset, yung truck, was acquired ng October. October binili yung truck. Truck was acquired. Same amount, no? 50,000. 50,000 pesos. Same pa rin yung useful life, 5 years. And same yung salvage value, 10,000. Salvage value. Kumputan ngayon natin to ng depreciation expense. Alright. Sige. Ano bang pinagkaiba niya? Kanina, yung problem, yung inassume natin na yung delivery truck was acquired at the beginning of the year. Okay? So, yung kabuuan nung taon, din-appreciate natin yung 50,000 na yan. Okay? So, ang ginawa lang natin, 50,000 minus salvage value na 10,000 divided by 5 years. Nakuha natin yung 8,000. Okay? Nakukuha ba? 8,000. Yan yung depreciation natin for 1 year. Tama lang, no? Kasi in-acquire natin yung delivery truck at the beginning of the year. So, kunwari, January 1. So, buong taon mo talaga siya ginamit, buong taon talaga siyang nalaspag, kaya buong taon na 8,000 yung depreciation expense niya. Ngayon, paano kung October mo lang in-acquire yung truck? Isang taon mo rin ba siyang i-depreciate? Hindi, no? So, yung 8,000 na yan, i-multiply mo pa siya sa isang fraction. Kung ilang buwan mo lang siya ginamit, yung truck, no? So, ilang buwan ba mula October hanggang December 31? Okay, mula October 1. Bilangin mo October, November, December. So, 3 months lang. So, i-multiply mo siya sa 3/12. Okay. Another method, kung basic calc yung gamit mo, divide mo na lang to sa 12, no? Yung 8,000 divided by 12 para makuha mo yung depreciation per month. So, magkano to? Asan ba yung calcu ko? Wala akong calculator. Phone na lang. So, 8,000 divided by 12. Lang, pangit ng number. 666.67 times, okay, itong 666.67, ito yung per month na depreciation. Ilang buwan mo siya ginamit? October, November, December. Okay? 3 buwan. So, i-multiply mo siya sa 3 months. Ang makukuha mong depreciation expense ay 2,000. Nakuha? Ganun ha. Basahin mong maigi yung problem. Kailan na-acquire yung asset? Yun ang mga kailangan mong i-consider ha. When was the asset acquired? Next, yung cost ng asset. Next, yung salvage value. Salvage value. If any, no? If any. Kasi, pwedeng 0 yung salvage value. So, pag ganun, wala ka nang ima-minus sa cost, diretso ka na divide sa useful life. Alright. Yan. So, kailangan masagot mo to ha. Pag binabasa mo yung problem, dapat alam mo, kailan binili yung asset. Para alam mo kung ilang buwan siya nagamit, ilang buwan siya naging useful. Okay? Kasi yun lang yung pagkalaspag niya. Kunwari, October siya binili. So, ilang buwan lang siya ginamit? October, November, December, 3 months lang. Paano pagka June siya binili? So, beginning ng June. For example, doon siya binili. So, de-depreciate mo siya ng June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 months. Ganun lang, bibilangin mo, no? Ngayon, ito, minsan tinatanong ko rin, paano kapag alanganin talaga yung petsa? October 6. Okay, hindi siya beginning of year, no? Ay, hindi siya beginning of the month. October 6 binili. Di-depreciate mo ba siya na October? O November ka na mag-start? Depreciate mo pa rin na October. So, ang rule natin dyan, general rule, no? Yung half-half. So, ilang araw ba meron sa October? May, June, July, August, September, October. 31, no? So, hatiin mo yung 31. Karaniwan, yung 15. Yung October 1 to 15, i-assume mo na, October 1 to 15, depreciate mo siya whole month of October. Okay? Then, yung 16 to 31, i-depreciate mo siya ng whole month of November. General rule lang to ha. Pero sasabihin naman yan sa problem. Kung ah, kailan magsa-start yung depreciation. Kasi depende pa rin yan sa company policy. Hindi, October. October pa rin 'to. Hinati lang natin yung October, 'no. So, parang first half ng October, kung first half of October nabili yung asset, depreciate mo siya buong month ng October. Pero kapag last half ng October nabili yung asset, depreciate mo na siya sa susunod na buwan, November na. Okay, parang free na yung depreciation ng October, gano'n. General rule lang naman 'yan, 'no. Ayan, ano pa ba ang kailangan matutunan dito sa depreciation? Eto, usually kailangan mo rin malaman yung method ng depreciation. Kasi hindi laging straight line. Okay. Pero ngayon, since basic accounting pa lang tayo, straight line method yung ginagamit. No? Meron pa kasing ibang method ng pag-depreciate. Nandiyan si double declining, accelerated depreciation, and others pa. No? Pero for now, yun nga, straight line method lang muna. Alright. Sige, puntahan natin itong review and key takeaways. No, depreciation is a non-cash expense that allocates the cost of a long-term asset over its useful life. It's an application of the matching principle. Straight line method of depreciation, tandaan mo yung formula na to, no? Cost minus salvage value divided by useful life is equal to the depreciation expense. Alright. And paano mo entryhan ang depreciation expense? Ito. Debit, depreciation expense. Credit, accumulated depreciation. Okay. Dito, paano kapag yung company ay maraming klase ng asset na binili? Maraming klase ng PPE na binili pala rather. So kunwari meron na siyang delivery truck, meron pa siyang service vehicle. So paano mo i-accumulate yung depreciation ng mga 'yon? So for each type ng PPE na ide-depreciate mo, PPE is property, plant, and equipment ha. Yan yung usually na dinidepreciate. Property, plant, and equipment. Diyan kasama yung mga machinery, yung mga long-term asset na yan. Machinery, building, kasama dyan, ano? Land, although PPE si land lang ang hindi mo i-depreciate. Bakit? Kasi hindi nalalaspag ang land. Kahit lumang-luma na yung land, hindi siya nababawasan ng value. Nadadagdagan pa nga siya eh. Okay? So si land, hindi siya nagde-depreciate. Nag-a-appreciate yan. Okay? Ibig sabihin, tumataas yung value. Nag-a-appreciate si land. So si land lang ang tanging long-term asset na hindi nagde-depreciate. Okay? So the rest nagde-depreciate na. Building, yan, nagde-depreciate yan. Yung mga furniture and fixtures, nagde-depreciate yan. So paano kung meron ngang iba't ibang klase ng asset yung company? Meron siyang building, meron siyang service vehicle. Nagiging komplikado ba yung mga problem? Meron pa siyang furnitures. Nagiging komplikado ba yung problem? Medyo. Kasi gagawan mo siya lahat ng adjusting entry. Kasi pwedeng iba yung useful life ng building. Let's say 5 years kay building. Kay service vehicle, 2 years lang. Kay furnitures, 10 years. For some reason, sobrang tibay ng furnitures. So, iba-iba yung useful life. Pwedeng iba-iba rin yung salvage value, no? Kukumputan mo siya ng tigi-tigisan niya depreciation expense, no? Siyempre, iba rin yung cost niyan. Alright. So, kapag ganun, iba-iba rin ba yung accumulated depreciation ng mga yan? Yes. So, for each type nitong long-term assets na to, may kabanggayan na accumulated depreciation. So, for example, meron kang building. So, meron kabanggayan na accumulated depreciation, building. Okay, dash building. Ganun lang. So, dito may accumulate lahat ng depreciation ng building. Okay. So, meron ka rin bang depreciation expense building na account? Yes, meron, no? So, for example, Si building, binili mo siya ng 500,000. Favorite natin, 500,000. 5 years yung useful life. 0 na lang yung salvage value para simple. So, mag-compute ka ng depreciation expense dito kay building. So, 500,000 minus 0 na salvage value divided by 5 years na useful life. So, 100,000 per year yung depreciation expense ni building. Entry natin. Debit, depreciation expense, dash, building. 100,000. Credit, accumulated depreciation. Building, 100,000. Ganun lang. Tapos gagawan mo rin si service vehicle, no? So for example, lagyan mo dito, depreciation expense, dash, service vehicle, XX. Di natin alam yung amount, no? Then, credit, accumulated depreciation, service vehicle, XX. Okay. Yan. So, pwede kang tanungin ng problem, magkano ang book value ng building as of the year end? So, gagawin mo lang, i-minus mo lang yung accumulated depreciation. 500,000 minus 100,000. 400,000 yung book value. Paano? Pag tinanong ka ng problem, how much is the book value of the building at the end of 2 years? So, 2 years, ha? Tinanong ko ng problem, magkano yung book value ng building at the end of 2 years? So, ibig sabihin, 2 beses kang magde-depreciate ng 100,000 pesos. So, isa pang 100,000 ibabawas mo dyan. So, at the end of 2 years, 300,000 na lang yung book value ng building. Okay? E tinanong ko ng problem, how much is the book value of the building at the end of 3 years? Malamang, 3 taon kang magbabawas ng 100,000. So, yung 300 na yan, bawasan mo ulit ng 100. So, book value at the end of 3 years is 200 na lang. Naubos, no? Sige, tanongin kita ngayon, how much is the book value of the building at the end of 5 years? 0 na, no? So, 0 na kasi 5 times kang magde-depreciate ng 100,000 per year. So, book value at the end of 5 years is 0. Galing, no? So, 0 na. Fully depreciated na yung building mo, yung asset mo. Okay, so ganun. Isa pa, example ulit. Yung motorsiklo ng lola mo. Okay, drawing natin ulit yung motor. Paano ko ba din drawing kanina yung motor? Yan. Hindi ko alam itsura ng motor eh. Yan, ganyan na lang. Iyon. Okay, yung motor ng lola mo. Kunwari, binili siya ng lola mo 150,000 noong January 1, 2025. Ang estimated salvage value niya, sabi ng lola mo, no? Tingin ko at the end of its useful life, mabebenta ko na lang siya for 10,000. Mabebenta ko na lang siya sa bakal bote. Sabi niya gano'n, salvage value. At the end of 5 years daw. So, 5 years yung useful life. Ngayon, computean natin siya, no? Entryhan natin siya. Lahat ng magiging transaction, lahat ng magiging adjustment natin kay motorcycle. So, January 1 muna nung in-acquire natin. January 1, 2025. Ano yung entry mo nung in-acquire mo yung motorsiklo? Debit. Pwedeng no? Vehicle na lang. O motor vehicle. 150,000. Let's say for cash. Cash binili yung motor. Mayaman yung lola mo. Binili niya ng cash yung motorsiklo. Credit, cash, 150,000. To record acquisition of motor vehicle, for example. Ganun na lang. Next. Sasabihin pa ba ng problem na kailangan mong mag-adjust for depreciation at the end of the first year? Hindi na, no? Dapat nasa isip mo na agad yan. Kasi lumipas na yung isang taon. December 31, 2025. Alam mong lumipas na yung isang taon. No? Kailangan mo na ba mag-adjust? Yes. So mag-adjust ka na dito. Again, paano mo i-compute yung adjustment mo? Tama. Yung cost na 150,000, teka, sulat natin formula, sumabay ka. Cost minus salvage value is equal to, the book value. Depreciable amount pala to. Wait lang. Another concept, no? Yung cost minus salvage value, ang tawag dyan, depreciable amount. Tandaan mo yan. Depreciable amount. Okay? So, self-explanatory naman, depreciable amount. Kasi, hindi yung buong cost yung pwede mong i-depreciate. Kailangan, ibawas mo yung salvage value. Okay? Para makuha mo kung magkano yung depreciable amount. Okay? Cost minus salvage value is depreciable amount. Tandaan mo yan, depreciable amount. Next, saan mo i-divide yung depreciable amount? Sa useful life. Divided by useful life. UL na lang. And makukuha mo yung depreciation expense. Okay, so sa case natin, magkano yung cost? 150,000. Magkano yung salvage value? 10,000. Magkano yung depreciable amount? 150 minus 10,000, 140,000. Dito lang natin lagay, 140,000. Yun yung depreciable amount. Okay? Divided by useful life na 5 years. So, magkano ang depreciation expense natin? 140 divided by 5. So, 28,000 per year. Alright. So, entryhan na natin. 28,000 per year daw yung depreciation natin. So, paano yung journal entry at the end of the year? Debit depreciation expense. Vehicle. 28,000. Credit accumulated depreciation or AD na lang. Vehicle. 28,000. To record the adjustment for accumulated depreciation at the end of the year. Alright, so pwede kang tanungin ng problem mo. Magkano ang book value at the end of 2025? So, book value at the end of 2025, tinanong ka ng problem, so kumpitin mo lang. Cost minus accumulated depreciation. Okay, ito yung cost, ito yung AD, accumulated debt. So, book value is equal to, magkano yan? 150 minus 28. 122. So, book value at 2025. December 31, 2025. Year end. No? Okay. Paano next year? Kunwari, tumawid na yung isang taon ulit. December 31, 2026 na. Mag-a-adjust ka ba ulit? Yes, kasi nga, 5 years mo gagamitin yung vehicle eh. So, 5 years ka mag-a-adjust. Magkano adjustment mo? Ganun ulit. 28,000. Depreciation expense. Vehicle, 28K. Accumulated depreciation, vehicle, 28K. Okay, so pag tinanong ka ng problem, how much is the book value at the end of 2026? So magbabawas ka lang ulit ng 28,000 na accumulated depreciation. So 122 minus 28, 94. So, ito na yung book value mo. Book value at December 31, 2026. Okay. Next, pag tinanong ka ng problem, how much is the accumulated depreciation at December 31, 2026? Ano sagot mo? 28,000? Mali. Okay, kaya nga siya tinawag na accumulated depreciation kasi i-accumulate mo lahat yan. So, kung tinanong ka magkano yung accumulated depreciation nung December 31, 2026, pagsasama-samahin mo lahat ng mga naging accumulation, nung depreciation, nung specific account na yan, nung specific property na yan. So, 28,000 plus 28,000. I-accumulate mo siya. So, dalawang 28,000 na yung naging expense eh. So, ito na yung na-accumulate so far. 28 plus 28, 56. So, 56,000 yung accumulated depreciation. Tanong, pwede mo ba shortcutin at huwag ka na mag-entry? Pag tinanong ka lang naman magkano yung mga book value? Yes, kung kaya mo na, no? Pwede kasing computan mo na lang magkano yung magiging accumulated depreciation since alam mo na 28,000 per year. Tapos 2 taon gagamitin, i-multiply mo na lang yung 28 sa 2. So alam mo na 56,000 yung accumulated depreciation. So kapag alam mo na 56,000 yung accumulated depreciation at the end of 2 years, pwede mo siyang i-subtract directly dun sa cost na 150,000. So 150 minus 56, 94 pa rin naman yung magiging sagot mo. O hindi ka na nag-entry. Ginamitan mo lang ng math. Ngayon, gawin natin to. Yung i-multiply na lang natin sa number of years. Tatanungin kita, how much is the accumulated depreciation at the end of 5 years? So, yung 28,000, multiply mo lang sa 5 years. No? So, 28,000 times 5. 28,000 times 5 years, 140,000. Ang accumulated depreciation. Ngayon, tinanong ko ulit, how much is the book value at the end of 5 years? Book value is 10,000. So, at the end of 5 years, 10,000 yung naging book value. Eh, di ba yan din yung inassume ng lola mo na magiging salvage value at the end of 5 years? Yes. So, yung salvage value pala, yun dapat yung maging book value niya at the end of the useful life. Okay, so pwede mo siyang gawing pang-check kung tama yung ginawa mong computations. Okay. Ayan. So, ayun. Yun lang naman ang mga kailangan mong matutunan dito sa depreciation. Okay. Stop natin yung recording. At pwede mo namang balik-balikan yung video natin kung nalilito ka. Sige, stop natin.